We're in the new BMW X1, and this is actually the first BMW I've had as a press car on the channel, so I'm very excited. We're gonna use this larger, wider, taller X1 today to pick up a nice large TV. 'Tis the season. Can't mention the ultimate driving machine without talking about the Powertrain 2-liter turbocharged, 241 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 7-speed dual clutch. Notice this is transverse mounted, it's not rear-wheel drive bias. However, it is standard xDrive all-wheel drive that I'm aware of here in North America, and I'm sure in other places you'll be able to get in front-wheel drive only. But let's close the hood here and talk about the exterior design and just that satisfying click. You know that build quality is excellent with the BMW. Hearing that click, this is built in Germany. Redesigned kidney grille, very aggressive. Now this has the upgraded M Sport package. No, it doesn't have an M fully blown like high performance model or anything like that. No, this is more of a styling upgrade inside and out. So we have these nice 20-inch wheels, got the awesome paint color, blacked out window surrounds. Oh, there's also this really cool puddle lamp that comes down from the mirror. And so when you open the back door, you can actually still see it kind of right on the side of the car. So it's a nice projector, as well as the 360 camera here. Blacked out roof rails, panel sunroof. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. And I love the new BMWs have the handles that are flush with the body, but they're still real handles. So they don't pop out. It just looks very, very clean. That's something I can absolutely get used to. I like the paint matched wheel surrounds. You got a little black garnish there at the side skirt. As we come around to the back, we have a glossy black rear bumper here and fake exhaust. You know, you're not going to be, I guess it's way down there if you want to see the exhaust. So let's go ahead and get this hatch lifted up, xDrive 28 there. And this is going to allow us to swallow that big TV here in a second. And check this out, we got a spare tire and a jack. So BMW making this compact crossover, maybe subcompact, super usable. We even have a 12-volt back here, LED light on this side, a little net. So the cargo space in here is one, and the passenger space, we'll find out in a little bit, is one of the most impressive things about the new X1. All right, hard touch here at the top, but it does feel more of a premium plastic. Got the beautiful Harman Kardon aluminum grille piece, and then a unique design as well, kind of this crisscross pattern top and bottom. Nice soft touch material in here and on the armrest. And these unique plastic but maybe aluminum trim door handles are really easy to hold on to. Cup holders down there. Flat seats, so pretty much flat. They have a slight angle to them, but let's lift them up and you are able to adjust the reclining angle of them with the pull of the tab. Lift up the headrest there. It took me a while to figure out actually how to fold down the center portion here because it was hidden behind this seat buckle. So this pull tab to adjust this 20% portion was hidden. I also like this armrest because it clips into place. Typically you only see that with luxury models, and BMW giving that attention to detail here. All right, been taking my kids to school on it and picking them up. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'm 6'1", I have plenty of leg room in here, plenty of headroom, even though I have a beautiful panel roof. And I also have USB-Cs for the passengers back here. Kids can charge their iPads, a little storage cubby, mat pockets on each side, durable kick plates to the back of the seat, which is great for little kiddos. And yeah, it's just an amazing experience for such a small class of vehicle. Tons of space back here for the passengers, but let's go ahead and get in the front seat, talk about what you're going to experience from the driver's and passenger's point of view. Soft touch here at the top. We have stitching, memory seats, Harman Kardon. We got a little intro screen letting us know that the car is happy to see us. There's lots of software in this car, but very similar door panel compared to the back. We got that M Sport badge here for the scuff plate on the door sill. You can adjust your seats from right here. And this has more aggressive bolstering compared to the non-sport models. I love the thigh extension. So we close the door. Great door slam sound. No, it's not the heaviest door, but it closes absolutely perfectly. All right, let's turn her on. It's right here, start stop button. And even if the engine's on, because it does have stop start, we'll talk about that when we drive, even if the engine's on, There's hardly any rattles. You can't even barely tell the engine's on. Best way to tell is actually looking at the tachometer right there. This screen is customizable. I actually don't play with it too much. You can adjust Android Auto here, but you press this button right here, and this will allow you to customize the content on the left display, the layout of it even on the left display. And we also have an amazing head-up display as well that you can customize with this individual mode as well. I'm not sure if the head-up display is going to pick it up, but I love the head-up display in here. Fantastic A+ quality. The MID is perfectly sized to fit in between the steering wheel. Some manufacturers have oversized screens here that gets cut off by the steering wheel. Steering wheel is the fattest steering wheel I think I've ever tested on the channel, maybe even more than like the Lexus RCF. It is so fat, I can barely wrap my hand around it, at least at this portion. But yeah, your hand's mainly going to be here. It is very soft and squishy, and you do have that M Sport badge here at the bottom. We have paddle shifters as well as this boost mode you hold down. If you hold it down, it will give you some extra boost. It'll do 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. Aluminum garnish here on the dash, and where are all my climate control buttons? Here's some defrost, and we have some nice vents over there, but where are my climate control buttons? Well, they are in here, and that's not my favorite cup of tea. At least this is always up. It's easy-ish to get to. I will always prefer buttons, and the BMW could have put a panel here to make that work, but you know, they rather prioritize all this space for wireless chargers, and all this does have ambient lighting since we're sitting in the sun. This individual mode has blue lighting, but you can customize that. But yeah, let's talk about the software with this middle screen. Android Auto, it kicked me out earlier today, and I had to unpair and repair my phone, so that was interesting. It does do it wirelessly, even though I do have USB-C chargers that are also data ports down there. Unfortunately, I can't make this large screen, and if I want to change driving modes with this button, it kicks me out of my Android Auto, which I actually prefer to be in Sport. We'll talk about that later, so I'm going to go ahead and click it into Sport mode. But Sport mode then takes over your screen, so if you wanted this to be customized, well, you don't have that option anymore since you're in Sport mode. And since it kicked me out of Android Auto, I have to press Home, and then I have to press here to get back to Android Auto while still being in Sport mode. So it's an interesting situation, lots of menus, over too much software in my opinion. Let's get into the drive select. It's just a simple button. Park is just press the parking brake, which automatically puts it in park. This is going to pull up some of your driving assistant features, and if I click the button again, hey, at least it gives me Android Auto from this button. But if I get into my driving modes, will it get me back into Android Auto? No, it doesn't. Even if I press this, it doesn't bring me back into Android Auto. If I press this, it brought me back to the Sport modes. So yeah, I just wish there was some consistency there with the Android Auto, which is easier to get to. You can flip this up for a little bit of storage, maybe set your keys in there or something. I like how we have this underbridge area for a lot of storage as well. And I'm ready to start driving the BMW X1. Now we do have a really nice 360 camera set up in here. Very crisp, very clear. It gives me projections as well, so I love that safety feature. And of course you're going to have the radar sensors letting you know when you're getting close to things. I also like how auto brake hold is always remembering, so when I turn the car off I don't have to remind the car that that's the preference I have. I also have a volume scroll wheel, which is good maybe as a traditional rotary dial volume, but it gets the job done, and it's way better than smashing the button a million times in a row on the steering wheel. And sitting here in traffic, this is a big reason why I get out of the personal mode as fast as possible, because the start-stop engine feature in personal mode is very intrusive. In fact, if I had it on right now, which I don't put it on because I think it's a safety hazard, it will kill the engine before I come to a stop, and then it's just really unsettling because sometimes I need to get around traffic or I need to get back in the gas, and without the engine on, the car won't do anything. You have to wait for it to click the engine back on and for you to take off again. So that's why I drive exclusively in Sport mode, and I'm a happy camper. Unfortunately, I can't select Sport mode is my default mode that I'm aware of. I have to, every time to start the car up, have to get into sport mode. As well as a personal mode, it doesn't feel like you're ever driving something sporty unless you completely pedal to the metal, floor down with the accelerator. In sport mode, it drives like a BMW. Slight press of the pedal and it starts going. Now there are multiple different driving modes for sport. You can customize it, which you of course have to do with the touchscreen while you're driving. Comfort is what I like the best because comfort will actually allow me to get into 7th gear when I'm driving around town, which is great for fuel economy. Sport is a lot of fun. Sport Plus is too aggressive and that'll just keep really high revs all the time like you're on a racetrack. Sport is pretty good though because you don't have to press the pedal as much to get the car to do exactly what you want like you do in comfort mode. Comfort mode takes a little bit more work from your right foot. And there's a competitor to this car. Oh, this is, since we got a yellow light, let's talk about the brakes. I adore the brakes. BMW, you have a fantastic brake feel. It is super linear and makes the car feel like it's super light as well. So BMW has a fantastic brake feel here on the X1. You can also adjust the driving dynamics here. We do have adaptive dampers, I believe, on this M Sport. Sport Plus will take off stability control, but that's fine with me. Sport steering, I like it in the sport mode. It tightens it up nicely. It's not as like heavy as let's say Mazda steering, but the car feels much lighter than your average Mazda in the turns. I'm talking about Mazda because I just recently reviewed a Mazda, and what this does in the turns compared to a Mazda is nothing short of impressive. A Mazda feels very front heavy, kind of bogs down in the turns. This likes to rotate kind of like an Acura with the super handling all-wheel drive, but it feels like it can really send a lot of power to the right wheels, the rear wheels or the outside wheels to help rotate the vehicle. So it's a very impressive xDrive all-wheel drive system. It's one of the best I feel like that I've tested. But yes, now I got to get back into Android Auto now that I clicked out into the sport modes. We'll do some brisk acceleration here. Pedal down. You can hear that 7-speed is not fast, but it is smooth, and that's I would take a smoother transmission for everyday usage than a super quick one, but it's great to have both, and that's what like the ZF8 is kind of that in the BMW lineup. But this 7-speed dual clutch I think is perfect for this type of car. It's smooth and it is responsive for downshifts, just it's not the quickest when it comes to upshifts. In terms of comfort, the seat for me at the bottom cushion's a little tight. I'm about 6'1", close to 200 pounds, so the cushions on the bottom feel a little bit tight for me, even though I have that nice thigh extension, which I love. The upper bolstering feels great. I wish the bottom cushion was just a little bit wider. Blind spot monitor here is fantastic, of course. And in a car like this, when you put it in sport mode, like when I had to get to the Lamborghini dealership, this sounds insane that I'm even talking about this, but yeah, I took the X1 to the Lamborghini event, the grand opening here in Naples, and this thing, if you want to drive it like a performance car, it's easy to weave in and out of traffic. You got that torque, and that downshift is super quick. You got that torque, the 295 pound-feet. It is a lot of fun to drive, more fun than, let's say, the Volvo XC40, at least the gasoline versions of that. The electric version, that's a hoot. And it's way more fun to drive than, let's say, the F Sport from the Lexus UX. Lexus UX trades performance for efficiency. So that car gets 40 plus miles per gallon, and that's a great thing. That's I can switch lanes whenever I want and get around, and that torque's always on tap, super satisfying. But yes, speaking of fuel economy, it's not going to touch the 40 miles per gallon that you get on the UX, but this will dust the UX in space. It dusts the UX in probably overall comfort. UX might be a little bit quieter, I would say. Let's throw this in the turn. Get onto the gas. Oh my gosh, yeah. UX cannot do anything close to that, nor can the Volvo XC40. Speaking of ride quality, This is actually really, really good in here. You do get a little bit of tire noise from these 20-inch wheels and tires. You get sometimes like a random buzzy rattle here that comes and goes when it wants to. And I surprisingly have a high amount of wind noise, not like Toyota Sienna amount of wind noise, but a noticeable amount for a luxury car coming through the A-pillar, maybe around the window, sorry, the side mirror. So you do get that in this car as well, just depending on how fast you're going. With the roof cover closed, I don't hear any wind buffeting. With it open, I hear a little bit of wind buffeting around the sunroof. But it does feel extremely well built, even though there are choice plastics like on this handle. Handle's extremely functional, but it just feels a little cheap to me. And getting around the Santa Fe is just incredibly easy. One of the easiest cars to drive fast that I've had on my channel in a long time. You just have great ride height. I can see around me very well, big windows, and instant response from that 7-speed and tons of torque on tap. So let's fast forward. Let's see if we can find that big TV and see if this bigger, more spacious X1 can swallow a large TV. Absolutely perfect success fitting the 65-inch TV into the X1. Liftgate is automatic standard, I think, on the base grades, but yeah, signing out from the fun to drive yet roomy subcompact. You know, the lines are always blurred with sizes of crossovers, but BMW, very impressed with the vehicle overall. Software, if you can get that worked out a little bit, make it a little bit more seamless, more intuitive, I think you guys have an absolute home run here. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any comments about the BMW X1 down below. BMW, thank you for sending me my first press vehicle with the BMW badge, with the propellers. I appreciate it. Can't wait to test out more of your products and share my impressions here on the channel with my audience. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day and peace.